Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Dane Cook, movie coming out. The headline all over the place. Dane Cook's brother Darryl stole millions from him, hid cash in spaghetti sauce, and disappeared. This was an exclusive from People, which is everywhere now. There's a trailer for the Dane Cook movie. Maybe we'll just play that. It's a little long, but I find it really compelling.
Dane, it's your brother. I just heard Courtney, the FBI is involved with something. Dane, what happened? What have you done?
A person that spent so much time pretending to be something he wasn't. From the moment he left that bank, my brother disappeared.
He was like, yeah, I want to be a stand-up comedian. I was like, I want to be a stand-up comedian.
These people are fearless. I want to be fearless. Darryl was a major factor.
You became a corrections officer.
Are you enjoying your time here at the beach, Darryl?
Very much so. Time is almost up. Time is money.
Once he started going platinum, everything changed.
He was like a rock star.
Darryl and I looked at each other and said, we're in for a hell of a ride.
Show me the money, baby.
He would handle every aspect of every penny that came in.
Initially, withdrawals for $20,000 became withdrawals of $50,000, wires of $100,000.
I was starting to feel something that I couldn't really identify with. Was he hiding it in different places, stockpiling this money?
Darryl was traveling across the country. My pursuit would be to put his brother in jail.
Dane, what happened? What have you done? Why are you doing this to me?
Swung the door open and piles upon piles of cash.
I'm like, this is not normal.
The last time I had seen it, there wasn't nearly as much money in there.
The police officers, they believed that you were communicating with Darryl with coded messages.
There were bricks of hundreds in all the spaghetti sauce.
And the pasta sauce, of course. Where else would you put the money?
This is blowing my mind, dude. Darryl's a go-getter.
Was the point to just bury me alive?
He seemed to disassociate himself from the whole thing. There was a good part of him somewhere that I grew up with.
I do believe that there's money out there. I believe there's people that know more. Where is he? What has he done? How does this end?
Funny Money, the Dane Cook Story, will be available on streaming September 29th. People writes, McCauley, who was Cook's business manager from the 90s through 2008, handled every penny of Cook's wealth, but paper trails showed he was withdrawing huge amounts, up to $100,000 at a time, from his brother's account. Dane said he began to feel something I couldn't identify. By the way, are we learning here that Dane Cook's name isn't Dane Cook and it's Dane McCauley? John, you have Google. Why don't you tell us? You host the show. Okay, I will. Okay, I Googled, is Dane Cook his real name? And the internet said yes. And then I was like, so why is his brother McCauley? So I asked ChatGPT. Now, this is a lot of fun. I typed in, is Dane Cook his real name? The AI said, yes, Dane Cook is his real name. His full name is Dane Jeffrey Cook, born March 18th, 1972 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So unlike a lot of comedians, Dane Cook isn't a stage name. So I asked, so then why is his brother McCauley? And the chat said, no, pay attention. The chat said, because McCauley is his brother's first name, not his last name. To which I went, huh? Dane's brother is Darryl McCauley, full name Darryl McCauley Cook. He generally went professionally by name as Darryl McCauley, using his middle name as his surname. And that read my hogwash detector, so I asked the AI, is that right? And the AI said, no, you caught me. It actually says, no, you caught me. My previous answer was wrong. I checked it. Well, why didn't you just give me the right answer the first time, AI? So the AI is now sourcing Boston Magazine. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't doubt Boston Magazine, but I do doubt this AI. Dane Cook is Dane Jeffrey Cook. His older half-brother is Darryl McCauley. Reliable contemporary coverage, says the AI, consistently identifies him as Darryl McCauley, not Darryl McCauley Cook. You see, they're half-brothers. They shared a mother, Donna Jean Ford, but McCauley had a different father, presumably Mr. McCauley. But we digress because we have to talk about the movie Funny Money, the Dane Cook Story. People tells us McCauley, a former corrections officer, was ultimately arrested in 2008 and charged with stealing $12 million from Cook while acting as his business manager. Just curious, and I trying to stay out of prison. I wonder how that went for a former corrections officer. I don't think I want to know. McCauley pleaded guilty to larceny, embezzlement, and forgery in 2010, says People, and was sentenced to 5 to 6 years in prison. He was also ordered to repay the $12 million to Cook. His wife, Erica, was sentenced to 2.5 years in connection to McCauley's crimes. Funny Money, the Dane Cook Story, on VOD September 29th. Deadline apparently had some spies at the possible casting for Saturday Night Live Season 52. SNL Season 52 had showcases across 3 cities. Deadline says those names are beginning to come in. Trenton Mason and Saida Bella Osage. Hope I got your name right. Deadline heard they generated buzz at their showcases. They're said to be on the list. Other names Deadline has heard include Claire Riffle, Grace Ryder, Devin Bockrath, Olivia Puckett, Ismail Lufti, Rachel Coster, Russelli Daniels, and Anna Fabrega. Reps from SNL did not return requests for comment to Deadline. All we know about Season 52 at the time of this recording is that Chloe Fineman will not be back. I will still be stunned if Cam Patterson is part of the cast. Deadline tells us, as is customary, staffers hit 3 big markets, Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. There was the Characters Showcase in LA on August 6th. Chicago's showcases were at the Annoyance Theater and the I.O. Theater on August 10th and 11th. And on August 17th and 18th, there were showcases at New York's UCB. More standouts. Names that emerged from LA included Trenton Mason, Kaba Hughes, Chase Rosenberg, and April Rock. In Chicago, Peyton Ruddy, who was one of the 2026 Just for Laughs new faces, quote, dominated in Chicago. Deadline says everyone in New York was raving, quote unquote, about Joey Welsh. Other New York talents that did well, Alicia Edwards, Amber Singletary, and Saida Bella Osage. Deadline points out that Hughes, Rock, Edwards, Singletary, and Bella Osage are all female performers of color. You may recall people have been observing a lack of black female representation since Ego Nwodim departed after the 2025 season. Deadline says next up in the casting process are screen tests. Keep you posted on that. Seth Meyers, he's off for 7 weeks and for some reason has launched a podcast. Yeah. Seth and Sal Gentile, who writes the popular A Closer Look segment, have teamed up during the hiatus to launch a video podcast called A Closer Look Out of Office to tackle the stories they've missed while they've been off. So my catty comments about Late Night with Seth Meyers aside, that's pretty interesting, right? That they are trying to get this stuff out there. That suggests Seth didn't want a 7-week vacation. That makes me think even more that this is a bit of a budget thing. So this whole summer thing is interesting. Seth was off from June 18th to July 13th, did 2 weeks, and then another 7-week break. So that's, 9, 10, 11? That's like off 11 out of 13 weeks. That sounds like a budget cut. Seth Meyers joked, "We had to cancel a family vacation. We were going to take the kids to the Strait of Hormuz, and then the travel agent finally said, I just wouldn't risk it. Obviously, you want to bring the kids when it's open." You know, hopefully Seth enjoys YouTube and it's super successful, because then we can move him off 1230. He can just be a YouTuber, and then we can give 1230 to Chris Fleming and make 1230 great again. Jay Leno used to have a late night show. It was called The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He recently was presented with the Vanguard Award at the 2026 Burbank International Film Festival's gala ceremony. The original plan called for dinner followed by an hour-long career retrospective with Jay Leno, but they moved everything around. They put the stuff about Jay Leno at the beginning of the night. Here's why. Jay asked for them to change it so he could leave, so he could do a 7:30 set at Flappers. That sounds like a bit, but no. Jay Leno had a 7:30 p.m. set at Flappers Comedy Club in downtown Burbank, so he asked the awards people, hey, could you move it around? So before the salad was served at the Marriott, Jay Leno recorded the podcast, accepted his award, and thanked the crowd and headed to Flappers. Oh my God, that's fun. More Jay Leno news. Jay was granted a conservatorship over the estate of his 79-year-old wife, Mavis. Jay, who had been granted a conservatorship over the estate of wife Mavis in 2024, is seeking to register said conservatorship in New Hampshire so he can sell community property real estate there. As you may know, Mavis has advanced Alzheimer's disease that sometimes leaves her unaware of her birth date or who she's even married to. Court papers filed on August 5th do not state what kind of real estate the couple own in New Hampshire or what part of the state. Jay was born in Massachusetts. He also owns real estate in Rhode Island. Anyway, for all the bits about Jay Leno being the worst guy who ever lived, seems like a pretty good guy to me. Kathy Griffin, if you're a longtime listener to this program, you know anytime Kathy Griffin gets mentioned, it's always something happy and good, like Kathy Griffin was petting a golden retriever puppy, or Kathy Griffin was smelling some flowers and said, what a beautiful day, it's great to be alive. So it surprises me that she's involved in a beef, right? Kathy said she's really hurt that she wasn't invited to appear on Rosie O'Donnell's week guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel's late night show. Kathy, listen to me. Even you, self-described as a D-list celebrity, you had a show with D-list in the title. Let's see who Rosie even had on. This from Interbridge.com. Here's the lineups for last week when Rosie O'Donnell guest hosted. Monday, Hannah Waddingham, Ted Lasso, sure. Anna Gasteyer, the Linda's Bella Brown. Tuesday, Gene Smart, Richard Gadd, Bella Brown again. Wednesday, Charlie Day, yeah, It's Always Sunny was out. Janelle James, Ashley McBride. Thursday, Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally. Friday was a repeat. I mean, who do you want us to bump? Kathy Griffin. On her podcast, which is called Talk Your Head Off, Kathy Griffin said, I'm going to be honest today. I might cry. I'm asking for your pity. I love a good pity cry. I'm going to be open and honest and hope you understand. And I'm trying to talk about something bigger than TV talk shows. But, I talk a lot about Hollywood and I give you the inside scoop, etc. But this one's really personal. I'm just going to come out and say it. Are you ready? It's embarrassing to say, but I have to tell you guys, because we're friends, my feelings are really hurt that I was not invited to go on Rosie's week of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. We're good pals. We're like sisters, and everyone knows sisters fight, sisters and brothers fight, best friends fight, relatives, coworkers fight, and we're not even fighting. I don't think I've ever had a fight with my best friend. I can't recall one. If we had one, it's been a minute. I'm sure he'd have me on his show. Kathy said, I'm just being honest that when I found out that Rosie was going to take over for the full week for my beloved Jimmy Kimmel, I loved that he said to the camera, and I'm doing it as a special treat to Donald Trump, and I thought, oh, fantastic. He's leaning into it, and his viewers are honestly leaning more to the left. Kathy then brought up her infamous photo from 2017. I don't need a visit from guys with sunglasses. Just Google Kathy Griffin photo. It'll come up. Kathy said, instead, in my own community of Hollywood, of stand-up comedy, where you're supposed to be edgy, you're supposed to make political statements as well as be funny. In my opinion, that's what the greats do. That's who the greats I admire did. It did not go that way for me initially. Griffin said O'Donnell had made comments that were not supportive of said photo on a recent podcast and that upset Kathy Griffin. Kathy said, I mean, think about it. You've got these two women who share this very unique thing in common, and while what happened to me was much more extreme than what happened to Rosie, it's pretty unusual that you've got these two women that have been so outspoken about, well, he wasn't the president when she talked about him on The View, but he was the president when I talked about him, and as I have spoken about before, most of Hollywood turned on me overnight. Rosie O'Donnell jumped on Kathy Griffin's Instagram post of the video and wrote, Kathy, should have called me, honey. I didn't choose the guests. Right out today on the 800-pound Gorilla Comedy Plus channel, beloved English actress and comedian Kerry Godliman brings her critically acclaimed stand-up comedy special Bandwidth to a wider audience with Gorilla Comedy Plus. Known for her regular appearances on TV shows like Mock of the Week and Taskmaster, she's also on Alley Cats with Ricky Gervais. Kerry Godliman is noted as one of the most celebrated performers in the UK. Kerry said, I had a total blast filming the special, and I'm excited to share my stand-up with a wider audience. I do hope you love it, or at least are sufficiently amused by it, but love would be preferable. At the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, it was the Cheez-It Cheesiest Joke Award. The award celebrates cheesy jokes. I love it. Following more than 130 entries, English stand-up Phil Milton, Phil spells his first name F-I-L, Phil Milton emerged victorious and won the prize of 1,000 British pounds with the following gag, told much better by Phil Milton than I'll tell it here, but the line is, my brother convinced me to go on halves on a used funeral car. I can't believe I was so easily coerced. That is terrible. It's cheesy. Phil Milton said of winning, it's a massive treat. As a relatively new comedian doing my first show at the Fringe, having this award really helps get the word out about me and my show. It's really important to highlight individual jokes, too. Sometimes a little one-liner can get overlooked or dismissed as a dad joke. They take a lot of effort, and I'm really pleased Cheez-It have done it. He won from a public vote. There was a short list of 5 cheesy jokes. Other finalists included this one from Martin Byrne, told better by Mr. Byrne. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, and he'll probably start a podcast about fishing. We also had one from Carlin. No, not George Carlin. Brocken Tyzak Carlin. This Carlin said, I'm looking for a new job. I walked past a mirror shop the other day and thought, oh, I could see myself working there. I like that one. I would have voted for that one. Rui Frias, UK senior marketing manager at Cheez-It, said, we've always celebrated not taking life too seriously and the inner cheesiness in everyone. So creating an award dedicated to the cheesiest jokes at the Fringe felt like the perfect fit. That's your comedy news for today. All right, back at 3 o'clock with a casual short video and a normal episode in the morning. See you then.